is the zone of agreement in that regard? Because we realized that if people do not agree on, let's say, the kind of way of resolving a difference or the standards that are to be used, standards of reasonableness, or if they have nothing in common as far as material starting points are concerned, is that if there's nothing they believe in together, then you would not be able to resolve a difference. So we realized that it is important to pay careful attention not only to the confrontation stage, but also to what we call the opening stage. And only then the stage starts where people try to resolve the difference of opinion based on these starting points and starting from the difference of opinion that they have. And then, of course, it's important to pay due attention to what kind of argumentative means they use, what type of arguments, and how do the arguments connect with each other, and how do they constitute together a larger argumentation structure, and to what extent are the arguments they provide connected with the doubts and objections of the person they would like to convince, or the audience they would like to persuade. And that is all happening in the argumentation stage. And then you would say, now that's all there is. But we also realize that it very often happens that people think that they have done everything there is to do, but that still the difference of opinion has not been resolved. Mm. And that is because they often do not draw the conclusions from what they have done. And they have not checked whether they agree on what can be concluded from the discussion. So then you can have situations where you had a debate in class or somewhere else, and then each party says and claims that they have won the debate. Whereas it would be better to have a stage in which you look at the consequences of the argumentative exchange you have had and see to what extent the difference of opinion that was the, let's say this, that constituted the reason why the argumentative discourse started, to what extent has this difference of opinion been resolved. And we also realized that after you have come to a conclusion as to these four stages, that it would be easier to explain what can go wrong. Because the things that go wrong in the confrontation stage are of a different nature than the things that go wrong in, let's say, the opening stage or the argumentation stage, the concluding stage. And we also discovered that this idea must also have played a part already in classical argumentation theory, in Aristotle and people like that, because some of the fallacies that they already observe cannot be fallacies if they are necessarily always connected with validity or with the arguments as such. Some of the fallacies have more to do with things that go wrong in the confrontation, or things that go wrong in the opening, or things that go wrong in the concluding stage. And after we had seen that it was productive to make these distinctions, we thought it would be, for didactical and pedagogical purposes, very wise to emphasize the difference and the need for making these differences.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question more or less?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Bien, con esto hemos terminado de presentar para ustedes las 4 etapas del diálogo crítico, que es el primer contenido del aprendizaje 14. Agradecemos que el profesor Frans van Eemeren haya participado aquí y muy especialmente a la condición sine qua non, quiero agradecer al artista visual Denis Guzzo, quien ha permitido que este video sea realizado para todos ustedes. Gracias y hasta luego.